I don't want anyone knowing that I'm an attorney. I think there's a perception of attorneys that is probably true, that we're, greedy, ruthless people, and we're not likable, or maybe that you're more intelligent or you think you're more intelligent. I'm a lawyer. Of course I'm happy backstabbing, manipulating, and overbilling. For that.
Every season of Survivor is a story. There are main characters, sidekicks, comic reliefs, and villains. A good season of Survivor tells a compelling story that has you rooting for someone and against someone else in hopes that it all ends in a satisfying conclusion. Each story that we look at together will go through one character's journey from beginning to end. We will look at every character moment and strategic move to determine whether they were a hero or a villain and whether they were a good or bad strategist. And with that, welcome to Once Upon an Island. For reference, we are only going to be observing what the TV show is showing us and what stories being told through the show. No future seasons will be mentioned, but I may include secret scenes and behind the scenes footage to flesh out the story being told, and all character moments and strategic moves are interpreted with the mindset of what the story is trying to tell us. And now with that,
39 days, 18 people, 1 survivor.
Survivor is back in the Philippines for the 4th time, and this time there's a new twist. The tribes are split up by brains, brawn, and beauty, with Kass, a 41-year-old lawyer from California, being on the Brains tribe. She tells us that she is an undefeated attorney who plans on breaking the mom stereotype with how ruthless she can be. Well, okay then, if you're gonna promise that, you better deliver, Kass. Too often people talk a big game at the beginning and then do nothing, so we shall see. Jeff then says each tribe needs to pick a leader to make a decision. The Brains pick David, the president of the Miami Marlins baseball team, and Kass apparently does not trust men with suits on, but for David, she says, I'll make an exception. Jeff then tells David to pick their weakest member, and he picks Garrett, the most buff guy on the whole cast. Why? Well, as it turns out, David says he is thinking about the end game. That's right, we're like 10 minutes into day 1, and David's already starting to think about the end. We just started, David, chill out. As it turns out, Garrett gets to go to their camp early and gets the Brains immunity idol as a result, though no one knows this. They then go to the immunity challenge, where
First immunity challenge, people want to show the other tribes what's going on. In last place is the Brain tribe, the smart group, taking the longest to figure this out. Disaster for the Brain tribe, puzzle pieces falling out. Brains still working on getting their cart through. Falling apart. Smartest tribe out here, and another disaster. Puzzle pieces all over the place. This is an absolute falling apart of one tribe 3 days into Survivor. Brain tribe, whatever brains they have clearly evaporated 72 hours into this game. Unbelievable how far behind they are. Brain tribe may not even be able to finish this puzzle if they get a chance. One of the worst performances out of the gate in the history of Survivor. You already know. They've done it! Beauty! Solana tribe wins immunity. Braun finishes. Braun wins immunity. Brain tribe nowhere close to finishing. Luzon will be the first tribe at Tribal Council will lose the first tribe member.
Wow, the Brains tribe is not looking good, especially when we go to camp and see that Jatia, a nuclear engineer who held them back during the immunity challenge according to Kass, tries to direct them on how to make a shelter, and it immediately falls apart. Kass says, I would like to see the data on how this Brains tribe was put together because we're kind of dumb. Kass then talks to Jatia and says, yeah, I want you out of the game. What? Kass just says this right to her face, like, doesn't care. She just says it right to her. I mean, what if Jatia has the idol? Sure, we at home know Jatia doesn't have the idol, but Kass has no idea. Bruh. Jatia cries, and then they all vote at Tribal.
First person voted Survivor Cagayan. David. David, the tribe has spoken.
Kass was out of the loop on that one, and now she's at the bottom. We see in a secret scene that despite how big Garrett is, he's getting burnt out fast. He needs more calories than he is consuming, and he just can't keep up with what his body demands of him. He's just like aimlessly wandering around, just zoned out, and just walks in on all the girls topless without meaning to. Kass recognizes immediately that Garrett, he's just zoned out. He's kind of getting out of it already. But then Garrett and Spencer try to convince her to join them against Tasha and J'Tia. I guess Garrett is using what little brain power he has left to do this. She says yes to them, but that is a mere lie. She says, I have no plans to align with the men. J'Tia then blows the immunity challenge puzzle, and that means we are going right back to tribal. Oh boy. Garrett tries to shut down all private conversations. He says no one can go off and talk. Let's just decide right now in front of everyone else that we're voting off J'Tia. Kass, by the way, is part of this. I mean, she does not poo-poo it at all. Tasha's the only one to openly poo-poo it. Tasha goes down the water, says, Kass, come follow me so we can talk. And she says,
You do realize we can flip this game right now.
Hey, if they don't want to scramble, I'm going to scramble and try to twist this game up. You know, I'm not trying to go home next.
Think about it. It's 1 and 2. Either I'm 3 or 4 or you're 3 or 4.
I need to work my way to the top. Why can't I be top dog? I can make it happen.
Think about it.
Hey, I don't want to leave J'Tia alone. God knows what she's doing up there. She needs to be watching her. Somebody needs to watch her. Who poured rice on the fire? I don't know, the rice fairy?
Well. I guess the rice fairy just dumped it all out because it couldn't have been J'Tia. Believe it or not, J'Tia isn't even the one voted out. That's right, Kass does align with Tasha and J'Tia and instead votes out Garrett. Just like that, wow. You can pick what videos I make. The patrons on Patreon pick this video and you can too. You will also gain the benefit of watching everything up to 6 months early and help us avoid shilling products that nobody wants and unnecessary sponsored segments. If you are interested, then there's a link in the description. Thank you for your support. Now with that,
I honestly didn't know who I'd vote for when I went into tribal. But then you think about Garrett, he's fun to look at, but you don't want to play with him. And then I thought, J'Tia's got a temper, but you can replace Rice, and now she's scared. So I think she'll be loyal to me. Well, I hope you guys don't turn on me for Spencer. Because I just...
Hell no.
J'Tia will be loyal. Weird. Didn't Garrett and Spencer offer Kass an alliance? We're gonna see if this gamble pays off. We see the Brains tribe win immunity, largely because of Kass and Spencer, not because of J'Tia. Let me put it that way. J'Tia was once again terrible. They won in spite of J'Tia. But despite this brief glimpse of goodness for the Brains, it doesn't last long, as at the reward challenge, J'Tia completely fumbles it. And yeah, despite the lead they had, they lose that too. That's more like the Brains tribe we have come to know, a complete and utter mess. Oh, and it just gets worse. At the immunity challenge, the Brawn tribe is doing their best to throw it. That's right, they want to lose. They are trying to lose without making it look too obvious, but yeah, they're trying to lose. But between J'Tia and Kass, the Brains tribe blows it again. Yeah, Spencer and Tasha do all the work while Kass and J'Tia blow the immunity challenge on accident, of course, while the Brains tribe, while trying to lose on purpose, still can't lose. This is getting out of hand. Back at camp, it is decided J'Tia has to go. But they still lie to her to make her feel like, yeah, it's gonna be Spencer. And when they finally vote at tribal,
First vote, J'Tia. Spencer. J'Tia. 4th person voted out of Survivor Cagayan. J'Tia. J'Tia, the tribe has spoken.
so much for caring about J'Tia being loyal since they kept Spencer over her. Kass says, we are not the Brains tribe, but the crap for Brains tribe. Nice. But that is neither here nor there, as Jeff says, drop your buffs. We are switching up the tribes. Yep, and as luck would have it, all the Brains tribe, they stay together on one, and now they're living with 3 beauties and 1 brawn. This might work out. Correction, this will definitely work out, as right away the beauties are shown to be a mess. They immediately gossip and snitch on each other to all the other Brains. And yeah, this really couldn't have worked out any better, huh? That's great. They then win immunity, and back at camp, Morgan of the beauties is so lazy.
It is strange that Morgan never joins us.
She never did at our camp. She's always, like, we go in the water and talk. She's always in the shelter and just laying down.
She likes her beauty sleep.
She likes to lay down a lot.
There's no strategy going on there.
That's what we were saying. We're like, what is she doing?
I'm surprised she's still breathing.
She's come with us. That's what we've been saying. I just think she just doesn't want to talk to anybody. or
I don't
doesn't
get
want
it
to
at
do
all.
anything, so she
I mean, was she
doesn't.
social in the beginning, or is she just like this the whole time?
Like that.
Wow.
Are you ready for a surprise? The other tribe not only lost a member at Tribal because they lost immunity, of course, but another one of them quit as well. A 2-for-1. If new tribal lines matter, then that will matter a lot. As it turns out, Kass's tribe does lose immunity, and when they do, Tony of the other tribe shouts out, "Oh, we're top 5, we're top 5." Mind you, Kass's tribe after they go to Tribal will still be 6 deep. So why is Tony shouting about top 5, top 5? But in the meantime, it looks like what the brains want to happen will happen since the beauties are a mess and Sarah, she's got to go with wherever the numbers are, right? This prompts Kass to say how the brains are finally in control of this game. They just needed a body for them to control. So they all vote at Tribal Council and
6th person voted out of Survivor Cagayan. That's 4, that's enough. Alexis, you need to bring me your torch. Alexis, the tribe has spoken.
it is time. Yep, the merge is tomorrow. Everyone suspects it, so they make a final 6-pack with Jeffra as their first target. Kass says this will be simple and easy, just as long as no one flips. Are we clear, guys? Just as long as no one flips. So with that, she talks to Sarah and
The only people that personally I would be concerned about are you and Jeremiah.
Trust me, I'm not leaving. For her to accuse me of not staying true to my word hit a chord with me. People don't like to be called a liar, and pretty much I got called a liar without being called a liar.
People think the demise of this tribe will be someone flipping. The demise is The demise is going to be not trusting people on this tribe. That's what it's going to be, and that's going to be the end of us.
Yeah, in my business we go with the hard evidence. And just because you vote with us one vote doesn't mean I believe you're true. And you did what you had to do, in my opinion. That doesn't speak of loyalty, that speaks of desperation and a wise move. You haven't proven anything to me except you're saving yourself. Show me blood on your hands from a former tribe mate, and then we'll talk.
we have merged. Yeah, whatever. Let's go back to Kass and Sarah. What is up with Kass telling people to their face these negative things? In life, I mean, sure, that might go well, being so blunt and honest, but here, it's a bad move in the game. Jeez, now Sarah will flip thanks to Kass. We then learn that somewhere in the forest is a super idol like the one we saw in seasons 12 and 13 that can be played after all of the votes are read. Wow, I'm actually surprised they brought this back. Mind you, they don't call it the super idol, they call it an idol with special powers to imply it's something new, but it's just the same idol from 12 and 13. Anyways, we see Kass, Tasha, and Morgan all bonding with Trish doing some Pilates while Sarah is going rogue. Sarah says, "Guys, you have to do what I say. I want LJ to go. He doesn't have an idol." And Kass and Jeremiah are like, no, we're pretty sure LJ has the beauty idol. And spoiler alert, they're right. LJ does have the beauty idol. Sarah is wrong, but she keeps insisting on LJ. Kass says, "Screw Sarah."
In my view, no one in this game should have that much power. Who made her queen? I can't even look at her, I just want to punch her sometimes.
Dang, Kass is getting violent. She even says, "Cops, screw them. You can't trust them either, especially a cop like Sarah, who doesn't want to do what the rest of the Alliance wants." Geez, Kass, go off. Wu wins immunity, and back at camp, Kass and Sarah are beefing, and Tasha tries to make peace.
What happened? We were disagreeing on who we think should be voted out.
Well, and you said, I will not vote for Trish.
That's all I
will not
said,
vote
because
for her.
I think that's a terrible
Got
idea.
it. Okay. Well, I see both sides. I don't want us to get fractured over some BS. When I heard about Kass and Sarah's exchange, I didn't care who was right, who was wrong. My main concern was getting those two back on the same page. So you're in a tough position.
I totally think Tasha took Sarah's side in the argument. What the heck? Someone in the Alliance treats someone poorly, everyone panders to the bully? I felt like saying it to Tasha. Well, what about me? How come you're not being nice to me? What am I, chopped liver? Oh, wait, you're done with me. I got it.
Good for Tasha wanting to make peace, but Kass wants war, and that's gonna win out here. Dang, can't she at least wait one vote? No is the answer, by the way. No. I mean, she could, but she's going to choose not to. Kass says Sarah thinks she's in charge of this game. She thinks that she's the queen. Oh, no. She is not going to give Sarah a chance to destroy this game because Kass says, "I'm going to destroy this game first." That's some backwards logic. Why is Kass going off the rails and blowing everything up? I mean, it's great for TV, don't get me wrong, but I feel like her burning 6 potential jury members would sour her chances at winning, right? So they all vote at tribal council, and
If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. Yes, this is a hidden immunity idol.
I would like to give it to the LJ.
All right, any votes cast for LJ will not count.
I'd like to cover Tony's ass myself.
This is also a hidden immunity idol, so any votes for Tony will not count either. First vote. Jeffra. Sarah. 2 votes Jeffra, 2 votes Sarah. Jeffra, we're tied again. Jeffra. Sarah, tied again. Jeffra. Sarah, we're tied. 5 votes Jeffra, 5 votes Sarah, 1 vote left. 7th person voted out and the first member of our jury. Sarah.
Bang, bang.
Sarah, the tribe has spoken.
Kass, 0 chance of winning the game.
It's a long way to go.
Kass will fly in the face of strategy just because of how she feels. She'll go basically wherever her estrogen takes her, not where her brain takes her.
Spencer is also an emotional player like Kass, but you can see more of that in his story video. Anyways, Kass is pretty pleased with herself. She doesn't mind others getting mad like Spencer because she thinks people will want to work with her anyways. Her vote counts the same as anyone else's. Tony says, I don't get Kass. While she did join my alliance to blindside Sarah, I can never get a read on her and it bugs me. Whether Kass is happy, mad, or indifferent, her expression is always this poop eating smirk, which is so true by Tony to be saying this like he is correct. Remember earlier though, when Morgan was shown to be lazy? Well, it's amplified here.
Anybody go get water?
Morgan can get some water today.
Is Morgan around?
Yeah, she's in her usual spot.
Morgan, no good on the water?
I can get water, but I don't see how, her saying it in a rude way wants me to go get her water.
Everything I'm gonna say to you is gonna be in a rude way because you've been being rude to me. So
I haven't said anything to you.
Yeah, you have. I'm fairly certain that Morgan is in a constant state of center of the universe. She's like an old dog. Like you have like a 14-year-old dog that you're just keeping alive because you love it. You don't mind that it pees on the floor and you have to go feed it, but all it really does is sit there. That's Morgan.
Kass, she said that, I'm being really mean to her. I don't think I'm being mean to her. I'm ignoring her. Maybe that's mean, but I think she's been, ignored and made fun of all her life, so she should be used to this. With Kass, I feel like she's just a bitter, ugly old lady, and this sounds really conceited, but I think she hates me because I'm cuter than her, and I've always been cuter than her. Kass is stupid. She needs to go.
I love that later on in this episode, Tony will compare Morgan to a pillow, and he isn't too far off. We then see Wu steal Spencer's idol clue, causes mass hysteria because everyone's now looking for said idol, and during the hunt, Spencer apologizes to Kass and she says, Wu, stealing your clue is karma for your behavior. Dang, these two were meant to be mortal best friend enemies. Also, Spencer finds the idol and doesn't tell Kass, so I'm not sure what karma that was. He also wins immunity. That's right, Spencer found the idol and wins immunity. No one knows about the idol, by the way, and the plan is to vote off the pillow. Spencer even approaches Kass about working with him, and she goes, well, I knew it. I knew he'd come crawling back to me. So they all vote at tribal, and
8th person voted out and the 2nd member of our jury, Morgan. Morgan, the tribe has spoken.
the next episode is actually strangely quiet for Kass as Tasha wins immunity, and the plan is to vote off Jeremiah. Kass says no need for a blindside. This will be a straightforward vote since our alliance is up 6-3. So they all vote at tribal council, and
first vote, LJ. Spencer, 1 vote Spencer. Jeremiah. LJ. Jeremiah. LJ, that's 3 votes LJ. Jeremiah, 3 votes Jeremiah, 3 votes LJ. LJ. 9th person voted out, the 3rd member of our jury. LJ, need to bring me a torch. LJ, tribe has spoken. Time to go.
Good luck.
Tony and Wu flipped. Wow, Tony says LJ was going to flip on him someday. True or not, I am a bit surprised. Kass says, hey, flips happen. I'm not offended that Tony did it. People are allowed to flip. Okay, all right. If anything, Kass sees Tony as an annoying Final 3 goat that she can drag to the end. Tasha then wins her second immunity challenge, and Tony swears to his alliance, Kass included, that he will never flip again. Jeremiah is going to the jury, so they all vote, and
10th person voted out, the 4th member of our jury, Jeremiah. Jeremiah, the tribe has spoken.
Y'all good luck.
I had this feeling that Spencer had the idol, and like a typical 21-year-old male, there was no way he was going to give that thing up. I mean, what is the most selfish beast on the planet? A college-age male.
as I said before, Spencer and Kass are made for each other. At the Survivor auction, Kass crushes by getting a steak sandwich and iced tea for only 20 bucks, and Jeff is mad. People are not bidding whatsoever, just to buy an advantage. So when it comes time for the advantage, Tony and Spencer bid everything they have, and Tony ends up winning it on a rock draw. Kass goes, "Ha, I love when Spencer is dejected. It's my favorite." Add on to that, Tasha winning a third immunity challenge, and now Kass is chomping at the bit to get out Spencer. Tony says, "No one dare blindside me though. I have an idol. No one blindsided me." All right, good to know, Tony. So they all vote a tribal, and
First vote, Spencer. 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 That's 3 votes, Spencer. Jeffra. 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 We're tied. 11th person voted out and the 5th member of our jury. Jeffra. Jeffra, the tribe has spoken.
Good luck, guys. It's been fun.
I'm pissed off. Another blindside. Jeffra taken out for crossing the Dawn, aka Tony, our Mafia King. Anyone who crosses Tony gets their cement shoes and thrown in the pond. I knew Jeffra was going to be on the outs, and I know what a hothead you are if someone does that.
It's not a hothead, Kass. She wanted to blindside me. I would have been home had she went with Spencer and them.
Tony, I know you're feeling proud of yourself right now, but you don't have to act like that.
Okay, Kass.
You know what? You're getting really old here, Tony.
Time for me to go, I guess, Kass.
I mean, you're talking to people so condescending.
I'm not trying to be condescending because there's no way.
Well, right now, Tony, you're
Yes?
kind of being a jerk.
Okay, Kass.
I'm just telling you.
I don't know how.
Kass is so mad this time about Tony flipping. I guess there's a rule that no one knows about that you can only flip one time. Kass allows one flip, one time flip only, one freebie. No one gets to flip a second time because now Kass is ticked. I mean, really, she's just ticked because things aren't going her way, but she is ticked. As she lays in the shelter, Tony is talking to Spencer and Wu about cop stuff, life stuff. It's nothing important to the game, and Kass mishears him and thinks he's calling her a female dog. But like the curse word version of a female dog, you know what I'm talking about. Kass is only hearing what she wants to hear, and she fights with Tony. Not once, but twice about this. He avidly defends himself and tries to clear the air about what really happened, but nope. Spencer says I could step in and clear this up because, yeah, Tony is in the right. He didn't do anything, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna let them fight it out. And Kass, she's just not listening. As I said, Kass and Spencer are both emotional players despite being smart as well. It makes it pretty funny. And Kass and Tony now, they're fighting like little children. And did I say they only fought twice? No, they fought 3 times.
How old are you? 40, you said?
Mm-hmm.
You act like you're a 4-year-old.
That's why I'm composed and you're not. Hopefully in the next 2 months, you'll do a little growing before you actually hit 40.
Oh, wow. I'll take that advice from you.
I'm not the one having a tantrum.
Well, you gonna vote me out?
I think I will write your name down.
You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna go home.
That's fine.
Okay. As long as we clear the air.
Yeah, make sure you play your idol.
Write my name down.
I will, Tony.
And you'll go home.
Because you're running the show?
And you'll go home. No, because I got a special idol, that's why. That's why.
I'm sure you do. I don't give much credence to Tony's claim that he has the special idol because Tony is known for lying.
Tony not only has a regular idol, but the super idol as well. Holy crap, you can't touch him even if you want to. Kass, Spencer, and Wu then win reward where they get to hang out with the locals and their kids and entertain them. Wu specifically is excellent at this and clearly a natural. This scene isn't important to the grand scheme of Kass's story, but it's a fun one and I wanted to talk about it. However, what is important to the grand scheme of Kass's story is her and Spencer trying to work together now. Yeah, believe it or not. And they're trying to convince Wu to flip on Tony, and he won't really commit at all. Yeah, he says, let me think about it, which Kass likes, but for Wu, this means he isn't doing a darn thing. Spencer then wins immunity, and at Tribal Council,
Tasha. Trish. Tony. That's 2 votes, Tasha. 12th person voted out, the 6th member of our jury. Tasha. Tasha, Tribe has spoken.
My advice for the castaways still playing this game, get rid of Tony before he gets rid of you.
All that fighting with Tony, and Kass still falls in line and votes with him. Tony then talks to Wu and says, we have to bring Kass to the end. She's an easy beat. So now Tony and Kass both view each other as final 3 goats. What a development. Someone has to be wrong, right? Wu then tells Tony the plan that Spencer and Kass made to flip on him, and now Tony is in on the loop. Tony then wins reward, takes Trish with him, and Kass says good. Tony is this alpha male, and Trish is his woman, which is correct. In the game, by the way, Tony's married. But in the game, she's like his follower, his lackey, and she calls them a couple of baboons. You think Kass is still salty about the second flip? You can flip too, Kass. There are no rules against flipping. You can flip as much as you want as well. It's just that Tony has had more success in flipping than she has. Kass then talks with Tony and...
I want to go in with you, and I want to go in with Trish. Even though you went behind my back by trying to blindside me, yesterday in the canoe, Wu told me everything.
Tony decided to confront me and say, I heard that you were conspiring against me, and I just want you to know that Wu told me all that, and I'm okay with it, but you shouldn't be doing that. Tony pledged on his wife and his baby that he was still going to take me to the end. So I've been forgiven by the mafia boss, but if I'm going to sit next to Tony in the final 3, I need to show everyone that Tony is a bully. So Wu, you told Tony everything I told you?
I what?
He just told me that yesterday on the boat you told him everything.
No way. I didn't say anything.
What are you doing, Trish? Kass, what are you investigating? He's amazing, man.
I'm allowed to confront people too, Tony.
Well, you sealed your fate. Congratulations.
Just so you know, he shook my hand and swore on his wife and his baby that we have a final 3.
When I told you that, you weren't supposed to tell him. You get it? I'm sorry I don't talk Lama. I'm supposed to talk Lama to you. You understand that better? That was the last straw that broke the camel's back. It's like, are you kidding me?
Chaos Kass is back.
Is Kass right for talking to others about what Tony said? Yes. Did she get under his skin? Duh. Is this currying her any favor with future jury members? Come on, when has Chaos Kass ever cared about the jury? She even boasts about how great of a game she's playing to Tony's face to try to rub it in. Again, why? It's because she's an emotional player like Spencer. She does successfully sow seeds of doubt in Wu, and while doing so, Trish overhears Kass calling her a goat and takes offense to this. She doesn't like that at all. In my opinion, there's no way Kass is winning a jury, right? She can't win this jury in particular. She keeps trashing them and they keep hearing her do it. Spencer then wins his 3rd immunity, and Trish, she calls out Kass.
I just have a quick question for Kass. Do you think I'm stupid?
I knew you were listening to that, Trish.
So why were you sitting there talking about me 5 feet away about how you were gunning to get me off this morning? I'm just letting you know what kind of a game Kass plays.
Yeah.
She plays both sides, and then all of a sudden she's the victim. Well, go find someone who's gonna go listen to your victim world today, because I'm done.
Trish went completely off the hook with me. I mean, she looked like freaking Skeletor with her big blue eyes popping out and her skeleton finger waving in my face.
Kass might be a beautiful person on the outside world, but as far as Survivor's concerned, she is absolutely horrible.
With your victim everywhere you go. Poor me. Everyone's picking on me, but yet you play 2 sides to every story. But then you turn around with that big, ugly, fleeting grin on your face and act like you're gonna win everything. And I got news for you, sister. You're not.
You do not want people this heated and volatile on the jury, let me tell you. That is one way to poison them against you. But surprise, surprise, Chaos Kass's seeds of doubt have worked on Wu, and he wants Trish gone too. Since Tony has multiple idols, he can't go. At Tribal Council with the jury watching, Trish calls out how Kass constantly plays victim while causing problems at the same time, which is so true, and Kass, she doesn't deny it well. So they all vote at Tribal, and...
This cat fight has to be resolved somehow.
I suggest a book on self-awareness. It will be helpful for you in the future.
If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Jeff, I don't need to play, but I have no use for this thing.
This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast against Tony will not count. First vote, Trish. Kass. Trish. 2 votes, Trish. 13th person voted out, the 7th member of our jury. Trish, that's 3, it's enough. Need to bring me your torch. Trish, tribe has spoken.
Thank you. Good luck.
Finale time, and holy cow, Kass made the final 4. Can you believe it? She is 1 vote away from being in the final 3, and this is in spite of the Brains tribe being a colossal failure. But in bigger news, Tony says, my super idol is good through the final 4, so I am safe for the next vote. What the heck? Did Survivor learn nothing from season 13 when Yul got to walk to the final 3 with a super idol that was good through the final 4? This is chaos, and not Chaos Kass. Though she does say, either way, Tony is a paranoid idiot. We then see everyone's family members show up at the beach, and wow, what a surprise. Kass even shows some genuine emotion. That's right, her facial expression even changes. But then she talks to her husband about her strategy in the game. She says, I am not a goat, I'm just hated. And I would argue that actually Kass is a goat because she is hated, but hey, what do I know? So we go to the immunity challenge where Jeff does not say this guarantees them a seat at Final Tribal Council. Holy cow, we have a final 2 for the first time since season 18. Kass falls way behind on this challenge, and that is when...
It is a complicated puzzle. You would expect nothing less 37 days into this game. No, Kass is good in puzzles, but she's lost a ton of time to Spencer, Wu, and Tony. Kass, slow and steady like she always does in puzzles. Kass never panics.
You got it. You are right on there, honey. There you go.
Kass now has the momentum. It's Kass and Spencer. Kass 2 pieces away from one of the biggest comebacks this season. Kass wins individual immunity. Incredible comeback. I have run out of superlatives to describe the amount of comebacks this season. Couldn't have come at a better time.
But to lose to a brain-dead weasel like Kass, that's the most humiliating way I could have lost today.
I'm not saying she needed it, but it definitely helped. If Spencer won, they likely vote out Wu. If Wu or Tony wins, they vote off Spencer. And I think Kass is really safe no matter what, but that isn't what tickles her fancy the most. No, what really gets her happy is that she gets to vote off Spencer and give him that dejected look she loves so very much. So they all vote, and...
Jeff, it says this idol can be played after the votes are read. That's the special powers that this idol has. However, it could only be played with 5 remaining players left. That's the last time I could play it. Today there's only 4, so this idol's absolutely useless tonight.
First vote, Spencer. Wu, 1 vote Spencer, 1 vote Wu. Spencer, that's 2 votes Spencer. 14th person voted out, and the 8th member of our jury. Spencer, need to bring me your torch? Spencer, the tribe has spoken.
The super idol expired at the Trish vote? Come on, man. But it is final 3 and Kass and Wu agree. No matter who wins immunity, Tony has to go.
I'm taking you or you're taking me, right?
Yes, absolutely. You gotta win, and I gotta win. Kass pretty much said that she has a better chance of beating me at the final tribal council. So if she wins tomorrow's final immunity challenge, chances of her taking me with her seems good. And if I win, I'll take Kass to the end as well.
This is it. Anyone but Tony. Kass says, you better believe I am ready for this challenge. So they all compete, and in a tight race between her and Wu, Wu wins immunity by like 1 second. Either way, she's making final 2. That's right. Bye-bye, Tony. Kass even tells Wu why Tony will beat him in a final 2. If he takes Tony, of course. So Wu votes off Tony at Tribal Council.
15th person voted out, and the 9th and final member of our jury. Kass. Kass, the tribe has spoken.
I think he made a horrific $1 million decision. I think he actually could have beaten me. I certainly won't vote for him. That speech, I'm giving it to who's most deserving, basically told me I'm bringing the person I think you should vote for. So, Wu, stupid, stupid, stupid.
So let's break this down. How is Chaos Kass as a character and as a strategist? Are we sure Kass's name on her birth certificate is not Chaos Kass because she was born to embrace the moniker? She is smart, emotional, and plays utilizing both of these attributes, hence the chaos. Kass will not sit on her hands, which I greatly appreciate. She is always trying to work and make something happen. She will not let the game pass her, which is fun to watch, but at the same time, she seems to not at all care about how people feel about her, which is why I believe there is no scenario, at least come the final 6, where Kass gets to the end and wins. I think maybe she could be a beauty, but I don't see her beating anyone else in the final 5, final 6. There's just no way. Chaos Kass is a large part of why the season is so amazing though, as she has brought so many good strategic and character moments to it. What an instant legend. Out of 29 character moments shown on the show, 8 were anti-heroic and 21 were villainous, making Kass a villain character on Survivor Cagayan. And out of 59 strategic moments shown on the show, 35 were smart and 24 were dumb, making Kass a smart strategist on Survivor Cagayan. Thanks for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. I'll see you all next time.